let's talk a little bit about the shortages, because we're hearing this morning that there may well be more shortages on the way because of COVID, effectively, because an awful lot of what we've now discovered about HGV drivers, about the fuel shortage, about all sorts of supply chain problems, an awful lot of it seems to be down to COVID. And we're being now told that ports, container ships, everything from sort of, China to Dover is in peril. By and large, not just because in this country there's a problem, but in lots of other countries, they're still operating with social distancing. They're still operating with skeleton staffs because people are working from home. It's a shambles. I mean, they need to sort this out, don't they?
Well, this is the great issue. We are now returning largely to normal. However, the rest of the world haven't caught up with us yet. And this is down to our speedy vaccine rollout system that we had. Okay, I was very critical of the various lockdowns we had, but now we are where we are. But we've got to remember, most of the things we have in this country are imported. We know that the lorry drivers as well, the whole industry has really come into the spotlight. They've had a shortage of drivers because they haven't been able to train new recruits because of lockdown, an aging workforce which has now suddenly started shrinking because people are retiring. Wages have gone up, so those existing drivers are working less hours for the same amount of pay because the conditions are pretty awful, sleeping on the side of roads, no washing facilities, etc., as we've seen in the various coverages that have happened. And of course, people have looked at this, and as a result, there are now shortages in our shops. Some people have tried to blame this on Brexit. Some people have tried to blame it only on Brexit. They're simply ignoring the fact that we've had a global pandemic and simply ignoring the fact as well that there are huge shortages, not just in the UK, but across the whole of Europe and the Western world. And we've got to get to grips with this, obviously, because we've got Christmas coming up, and as our economy returns to normal, we can't be stifled by these delays. I don't think the government have covered themselves in glory in this period. It has sort of been left to individuals to sort it out for themselves. We are told that the government are considering deploying the military in some cases, but we've got a shortage of around 90,000 drivers, and we've got 100,000 people in the army. So there's not many we can deploy.
But also, it seems, again, like a lot of these things, Brendan, one, they should have seen this coming. Two, it seems very simple to fix. What I'm hearing from various different ports of call is anyone who's out and about, and I'm interested in anybody who wants to give us further information, but if you're out and about, there might still be petrol station queues. But if you impose a maximum of £30, for example, in any petrol station, then you will get more people through it, you will get fewer people taking more petrol, and more people will then be able to retire from the queues, and the queues will disappear. It seems to me to be basic common sense. Why is the government not saying, all right, now this is something we should all be doing, in every single petrol station you shouldn't sell more than 30 quid's worth. That's the end of it.
Well, that would be common sense, Mike, which is why it's not being done, because that would be the obvious solution to the problem. Also, things like not allowing people to fill up loads of jerry cans on the forecourt would help the situation as well.
Yes.
Some petrol stations, individual managers have taken the decision to limit the amount of fuel people can have. But I think you're right. This was an obvious issue. Coming out of lockdown, there were going to be challenges. If you shut down an economy for a year, you can't expect the moment things return to normal, everything to catch up immediately. And the government should have seen this coming. We are now being told that more lorries are getting through, but there are still queues all around the country, and people are not being able to get to work. It's affecting emergency services and, of course, businesses, the lifeblood of our economy. And if this problem isn't dealt with very quickly, we could really see quite a difficult winter ahead. And our very fragile recovery that we've just had from the pandemic could be put at risk as people aren't able to go about their day-to-day lives.
No.